What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my podcast, Happy Days, with me, Callum Church. Now, this is a podcast where we talk all things self-development, fulfillment, and happiness. And I just want to take a minute in this episode to think about and appreciate what we've already got. Because in the self-development world, in the self-growth world, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that growth means more. Growth means adding more into your life and taking more things into your life. It's not. Growth isn't about adding. Growth isn't about subtracting. Growth is about simply just moving forwards. It's as simple as that for me. So I kind of just want to ease into this and lean into this idea about appreciating what we've got, because this is kind of reflected in a lot of different things. And I kind of came up with the idea for this episode when I was meditating. Actually, it was just after I was doing a morning meditation, and I was just sitting there thinking about how so many different things aren't actually about adding, they aren't actually about avoiding, they're actually about just dealing with things. So for example, I've written down meditation for obvious reasons. I was meditating, and meditation isn't about getting rid of bad thoughts. It's not about thinking about certain things and adding more thoughts in. It's not. It's just about dealing with your thoughts. It's about dealing with the thoughts you have, slowing your brain down, maybe focusing on your breath a little bit, and just calming down the mind, and focusing the mind as opposed to trying to just empty it, because that's impossible. I think there's such a common misconception that meditation is about getting rid of all thoughts, and that's just impossible. Our brains are constantly thinking, and you can't stop the thoughts. You can simply just quiet them, and you can process them and observe them. So that's what meditation's about. It's not about adding thoughts or getting rid of thoughts. It's about dealing with them. And it's the same with mindfulness or dealing with your emotions. It's not about having more happy thoughts and getting rid of all the bad thoughts that make you sad and all that kind of thing. It's not. It's about how you deal with it. Because no matter what you do in your life and what you go through in your life, you're going to have periods where you're happy, for sure, and that's wonderful. And then you're going to have periods where you're sad, and that might be a little bit unpleasant at times, but that's just life. That's just how emotions work. They're nothing more than just signs. They're not states of being. They are just signs which your mind and your body give to you to guide you through life. If something makes you happy, tends to be something that's good for you. It's what attracts you to that. If something makes you sad, then that's your mind and your body telling you to have a little bit less of that in your life. Try not to be around that certain person. Try not to be in that job or that career or whatever it is. So it's not about getting rid of all the emotions, and it's not about adding more of the happy ones. It's how you deal with it. It's how you deal with these emotions. And similarly, Stoicism, it's not about getting rid of all the unpleasant experiences in your life. It's not about adding good experiences into your life and adding pleasure into your life. That's not what it's all about. Stoicism, as you guys might know, is just about how you deal with your life situations, how you can become more stoic through your life situations, because they know that adding pleasure into your life isn't going to do it any good. That's what the Stoics said, and they also know that by trying to avoid unpleasantness in your life, that doesn't go to serve you either. So it's just about preparing yourself, mentally and, like in your mind and in your soul, how to deal with the shit when the shit comes. Because it's gonna come. That's just how it is, There's a perfect quote from Epictetus, which sums this up really. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. That's what Epictetus says. And it's so true. I mean, your life, whatever your situation is in life, your happiness or your fulfillment or your wealth or your whatever you want from your life, your happiness, again, it's 99% down to how you deal with it and just 1% down to what you get given. It's all about perspective. It's all about making it happen, So stop trying to control everything, and instead of controlling things, just deal with it. Get better at dealing with it. We're so focused on the wrong things. When people are meditating poorly, they're trying to control their emotions. Your thoughts. You're not trying to control your thoughts. You're just dealing with them in a certain way. and becoming more peaceful. Again, with the emotions, everyone tries to control their emotions all the time. If they're sad, then they're trying to not cry and bottle it up and stuff and not get frustrated and not let it out. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let these emotions out and just deal with them, And even again, when people are happy, they try and just hold on to that happiness and hold on to that emotion. But that's not going to serve you either. Because if you try and hold on to that happiness, you're going to get thrown back into the sadness again. And you're sort of flipping, flopping between the two. And instead what you need to be after is just dealing with these emotions and becoming more peaceful and a balanced person in between the two, And again, with the stoicism, it's not about avoiding the unpleasant. It's just about dealing with whatever you get given, And this whole sort of topic of conversation got me thinking about something which a good friend of mine wrote. And his name is Matt Swain, and he is an upcoming guest on the podcast. That episode will be coming out very soon, so make sure that you keep posted for that. But he wrote a piece of writing, and he titled it The Parable of the Small Creator. Now, this is based largely upon the parable of the Mexican fisherman, and you might know that if you're in the self-development space. You might have heard of that parable of the Mexican fisherman. I'll explain them too, but I'll actually read out what Matt wrote. So, here is the parable of the small creator. A big influencer was in his large apartment in the chaotic city of London when a small creator scheduled a Zoom call. The small creator had a newsletter with a few thousand readers. The influencer complimented the small creator on the success of building a following and asked how he managed to do it. The small creator replied, "It wasn't too difficult." The influencer asked why he didn't want to increase his followers by spending more time creating online. The small creator said this amount allowed him to pursue his interests and live the life he wanted. The influencer then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The small creator said, "I get to run my own schedule, read a little, create stuff that matters to me, and plenty of time to stay fit and healthy and hang out with friends. I have a full and busy life." The influencer scoffed. "I have multiple sources of passive income and can help you," he said. "You should start to share your content across different platforms, and with the bigger reach you could create an online course. With the proceeds from this you can start to delegate your time by hiring a team. Instead of giving away all your content for free, you could create some paywalled content. Eventually, you'd be able to write a book, get on the New York Times bestsellers list, and travel the world on a lucrative speaking tour. Of course, you would need to leave your life, and you'll spend most of your time on planes and in hotels." The small creator asked, "But how long will all this take?" To which the influencer replied, 15 to 20 years or so." "But then what?" asked the creator. The influencer laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would sell your business and content and outsource everything. You would make millions." "Millions? Then what?" The influencer said, "You could retire, get to run your own schedule, read a little, create stuff that matters to you, and plenty of time to stay fit and healthy and hang with friends." We seem to always want to chase more, but sometimes you need to take a minute just to appreciate what you've got. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. We might sit and compare ourselves to other people, maybe people that are higher up than us in the societal rankings or whatever. Maybe they have more followers online. Maybe they're more recognizable. Maybe they get more credit for what they're doing, whatever it is, But sometimes you don't really need that. It's like that other saying, the best things in life come to you for free. I love what I do right now in what I'm doing because I have freedom. For you guys that don't know, I run a freelance business. I do video and podcast editing freelance on the side, as well as this podcast, as well as my TikTok, as well as all the other stuff that I've got going on in my life. And sometimes I sit there and I think, wouldn't it be nice just to put way more time into that business and get tons more clients, outsource more things, hire some people, make more money. But the reason why I started this job myself and started this freelance business for myself was because of the freedom that it gave me. Just because I haven't experienced the more and the more money, the more recognition and all the rest of it, I kind of crave that a little bit sometimes. But it's easy for me to forget the story and the moral of the story behind that parable, So often you hear like wealthy people say, money doesn't buy happiness. And I buy into this for the most part. I don't believe that more adds to your life. I think we've got what we already need to feel happy and feel fulfilled. And that's a life. It's not about what you do. It's not about who you become and all of this. Look, growth is fantastic, and I truly do believe that growth is the meaning to life, but please understand that growth doesn't mean more. Growth is just the experience. It's moving forwards in the experience, becoming better as a person, not adding stuff to your person, you know? It's a chance. It's an opportunity. It's a chance. Life is a chance to just make of it what you please. So look, if you want to make loads of money, by all means do that, because you've got the opportunity to. That's what it's all about. But don't expect it to make your life any better, because the thing that makes life so great is life itself. It's the opportunity to do what you want. It's not what you do, you know? So, I mean, for me personally, where I find the most fulfillment is in my freedom. It's not in my bank account. It's not in the amount of followers I have on social media. It's about the freedom, you know? And a lot of people ask me, why I post so much content out online and why I'm in such a grind with the podcast and the TikTok videos and all that. Look, my TikTok videos don't get tons of views, but this podcast isn't huge by all means. I appreciate every single one of you that listens, and I love all of you that listen to this. But it's not massive, you know. I'm not getting big sponsors on the podcast and making loads of money. I make no money from the podcast, you know. I do it because I love it. There's an intrinsic value within me that makes me want to do it. It's the same with the TikTok videos. I just love perfecting these little 30-second clips and trying to make them as engaging as possible, talking about something that I truly care about. That is why I do it, you know, and that is where I find value in my life. It's the experience. It's not the recognition. It's not the more. It's not the adding. It's not the money, you know. It's what it is. It's doing it that is the most fulfilling thing to it, you know. You can go and make as much money as you want. By all means, go do it. Or, on the flip side, you could be a simple, humble Mexican fisherman. You could be a simple, humble, small creator. Do whatever you want, but just remember that by adding more, you're not going to get more, you know, and in some ways it might actually take away. So when you're searching for more, please just take a moment to slow down and ask yourself, do I already have what I need? So with that, I'm going to end today's episode of the podcast. I do truly hope that you did enjoy it, as always. If you did, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because it does truly help the show. Also, drop me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @callum.g.church, and check out my TikTok. My TikTok handle is @CallumChurch5. Again, I do truly hope you guys did enjoy today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. So there you go, that's the end of the show. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe on your podcasting app of choice, so you can download and listen as each episode is released. If this episode helped you in any way, tell your friends, tell your family, maybe even leave a cheeky review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show. But that's all for now. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode, released shortly. Take care.